I've been having some really thinky days recently because it was my birthday, which was really lovely. And I've been going to church and I've been reflecting on many things. And in all of that, something that keeps popping up to me is how much happier and content I feel now versus how I have in the past, and how grateful I am to feel that way. Like, usually I write myself a letter every year on the night of my birthday, just before midnight and just before I turn whatever age is coming next. And I reflect on how the year has gone and how I'm feeling and what I want next. And I also kind of ask for things. Like, I will, manifest or pray or whatever it is, whatever it is I'm feeling in that phase of my life, and really say, I want these things, and put that out there. And this year, I noticed that all I really want is like the health of the people around me and, my own health to stay the way it is. And kind of simple, of course, those are big things that I'm very grateful for, that everyone in my life that I love and care about is healthy. But relatively simple, like not very material, not like I want success and I want this and I want abundance in this way and blah, blah, blah. Just like I'm happy. And one of the things that I used to ask for a lot is this kind of happiness. I used to want to just, oh my gosh, I remember I used to cry, and not just on my birthday, but like often. I used to just cry and lie there in my bed or on the floor and like beg that I wouldn't feel that way anymore. And I'm so grateful that for maybe many reasons and many different things that have changed in my life and things that I have done, that I finally have that. And things that I also haven't done, and just things that were kind of given to me or happened upon or whatever, that I've been granted that peace and happiness, and that I can move through my life knowing that it's possible. Right? I guess that's the important thing, is that I now know that it is possible, that it's not some obscure idea. Because I had felt bad since I was like as long as I could remember, honestly. And that's not to say I didn't have good days, but I felt really, really terrible for a really long time. And I started to believe that this kind of happiness was a myth, and that surely everyone probably just felt as bad as I did and they were just better at hiding it, or movies and books and all of these things that explain normal people going about their normal lives feeling normal and happy and good, that it was pure fiction. And now I know that it's not. And that is the best gift that was given to me in certainly the last year, if not before that, and I'd just taken it for granted because I wasn't really reflecting on it, but certainly in the last year. And that's not to say that I don't have bad days, right? Of course I do. Everyone does. But those bad days, they don't eclipse even the possibility that things can be good anymore. And that is really what I was thinking about on the rainy walk that did this to my hair. I was thinking about how a bad day doesn't make a bad life. And when I was like 18, I bought my friend a card to send to her. And I don't think I ever even did. Sorry. I think I still have it. But my intention was to write a cute letter in this card and send it her way, because we were kind of long distance friends. We didn't live in the same place anymore. We'd both gone off to university. And I wanted to send her this postcard or whatever. Maybe I did send it now that I'm thinking about it, just many years later. Anyway, and it said something to the effect of, don't let a bad moment ruin a great day. Something like this. I don't remember. Like positive vibes kind of thing. And that felt like a little cheesy, but kind of very much like sage advice that I failed to take on board for at least 5 more years. And at least 5 more years. And it's finally clicked for me. I finally kind of get it. Like a bad day doesn't make a bad life. And so we should stop acting like it does, right? Like when you are putting your makeup on and a little mascara gets on your eyelid up here, or even worse, across the bridge of your nose, you don't take the wand and spread mascara all over your face, or I don't know, call it quits, go to the bathroom, wash all your makeup off, and just never bother to put it back on again. I don't do that, and I never have, and I never will. But something I definitely did do was catastrophize and throw out like an entire day because of a bad conversation or a bad moment, or something embarrassing that happened, or just like catching a glimpse of myself in the mirror and not liking what I saw. I'm not blaming myself for that. I was, even when I wasn't so young, I didn't maybe have, I wasn't well equipped, let's put it that way. I wasn't well equipped. But what I would do that is very sad is that I would let that bad moment, that bad day, become a bad week, and then maybe a bad month, and a bad life. Like, not like a bad year and a bad life. Like, it was just, looking back, I think, and I wish I could give this advice to people, but the problem is, unless you're receptive to it, you will not be able to do anything with this. This will mean nothing to you if your heart and your mind aren't in the right kind of place where you're open to hearing this. And most people aren't. When they're feeling very low, they can't really take this on board. But I think the reason I felt so terrible for so long was just because I let myself feel terrible for so long. I reveled in the sadness because it just felt like, on one hand, I had no other option. And on the other, it was just like easier to say that I was depressed or anxious or whatever it was, than to say that I wasn't maybe taking full responsibility for my own well-being. I felt like I was at times. Of course, I journaled. We've been through this. I watched TED Talks. I meditated. I went on long walks. But I was maintaining a wall between myself and feeling better simply just by selling myself the idea that I was blank, anxious, depressed, a lost cause, broken, unable to feel happy, always going to be like this, always going to suffer, always going to feel this way. Fill in the gap with whatever, you think might fit for me or fits for you. And I would just, by doing that, I really, really stole any chance of happiness from myself. And when you buy into that narrative, you can't escape it. You can't outrun it, right? If you're telling yourself that this is it for you, right? This is the end. This is the end of your emotional road, or this is the only path that's carved out, and you're just gonna. It's like a track. It's like it's an oval, You're just going to go round and round feeling this way forever and ever, and that's it, because you have a chemical imbalance, or because your situation is bad, or because I don't know, whatever the reason is. You've tried everything, and you see a therapist and it's not working, whatever, any of these things, and you just can't do that. You can't let yourself believe that that's it for you. And it's easier, hindsight's 2020. It's much easier to say that now than it was at the time. And I really was trying, but I just think that I wasn't doing enough. No, not that I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't allowing any of these things to work, because beneath it all, I was letting continue the current of like that this might be hopeless, that I might not actually find any success in these things that I'm doing to make myself feel better. And that alone was like, it was like I was trying to maintain a fire with a bunch of slightly damp wood, you know, like maybe I could get a little something going, but I wasn't really giving myself the right fuel that I needed. And so there isn't really any solution here. Just to say that if you're in a similar place where you feel like you aren't feeling better, and that's it for you, and you will always feel this bad, like this terrible. Gosh, the amount of times I wrote that exact sentence in my journal, that I will always feel this terrible. And that's my worry. That's my biggest fear, is that I will always feel this way. Like, yeah, if that's you, it isn't true. That's a lie that you're telling yourself. It's a narrative that you are selling yourself that you need to stop believing in. You need to drop that idea, as hard as it is. You need to not let a bad day become a bad week. And you need to separate the bad moments and the bad feelings from the life that you're living. Even if like 90% of the moments feel bad right now, you need to pick out the good ones. And you need to isolate the shitty. Have you seen Project Hail Mary or read the book? And the Talmiba, they eat the astrophage. But the astrophage is the fuel for the ship. And so the ship kind of becomes stranded because the Talmiba are eating all of the fuel. This thing that's supposed to save them. Wow, what a great analogy. The Talmiba, the thing that is supposed to save Earth and save Ered, because it is going to destroy the astrophage that is dimming their suns. It is also in that moment, it's the solution, but it's leaching into the fuel supply and causing so many problems. And it's actually not a perfect analogy now that I think about it, but yeah, your bad moments and the way that you approach them, it's very much like that. It's like, yeah, your attitude to these bad moments is very much like the Talmiba eating all of the astrophage in the ship, because you can look at that bad moment and you can put it in a very perfectly well-sealed box and say, this is it. Like, that was just a bad conversation. I just had a fight with my friend. Or I got a glimpse of myself in the mirror and it was horrible and I hated it. That is all it was, though, right? Like, it's boxed off, it's there, we leave it. And then you go on with your life and you have an amazing coffee, or you go for a great walk and the sun is shining, or it's raining and the rain kind of feels very symbolic of the new era that you're in your life or whatever, or just like it's pretty, or you see a cool place that you want to try, or you just feel fine. Like, nothing exceptional happens. but you just feel okay, right? The walk outside help calm you down, and yeah, you can let the bad moments be bad moments and let everything else just be, and you will be better for it. This is two separate pieces of advice, I suppose, right? Like on one case, one piece of advice is to not let the bad moments leach into the rest of your day and pollute not just your day, but your week, your month, your year. And then also to not, in those bad moments, no matter how long they may be and how all-consuming they feel, do not let yourself believe that that is all there is. And yeah, no concrete advice for how to do that, I suppose. It just has to come with time and your own, it's your own step forward that you'll take, which is why I said you have to be receptive to it, and that this won't hit. This won't hit if you're not ready for it. Maybe it does, and it still takes you 3 years. Like me with the silly little birthday card for my friend. Maybe it hits, and you don't, really truly internalize it for a while. But don't let a bad day make a bad life. Stop acting like a bad day does make a bad life. And stop believing that things won't get better for you. Because they will. With time, but also with effort, right? And the effort comes in consciously deciding to isolate the bad moments and let them just be that, bad moments. Don't carry them with you. Leave them behind. Observe them, like watching a car go by. That sucked. I'm very angry at my friend right now, but we move. Or that was a very unflattering angle of myself that I just saw in the mirror. But it's not the end of the world. And yeah, takes a little bit of delusion, but probably there is some truth in the whole fake it till you make it thing, and delusion is the great beginning that many of us need when we're not feeling our best. So that's all I have to say today, I suppose. You can wish me a happy belated birthday. Ollie, I really appreciate it because it just extends the celebrations. I hope you have a good day, and I hope if you needed to hear this, you were able to. That you take it on board. Most of all, I hope and I pray that one day you too, if you're feeling as bad as I have at times, or worse, or even just a fraction of it, that you wake up one morning and realize that you have the happiness that you always wished for. Yeah. There's still more for me coming. Things are going to be incredibly great, but I'm also very, very grateful for how they are now. And I'm tearing up a little, so it's my cue to actually properly, with finality, say goodbye. So goodbye.